Hello, my Mercurial mercenaries! First things first, I didn't find the fan. And if anything, it's hotter in here today than it was yesterday. So it's hotter than the surface of the sun in here. Hotter than the surface of the sun. Welcome to vlog number 15. Now, for those of you that didn't enjoy yesterday's vlog, because I had nothing to say yesterday, you're going to be very disappointed because I also have nothing to say today. Let me tell you one thing though. I spend the majority of each day in hot pants and a Frankie Says Relax tight t-shirt. But when I switch the camera on to do my vlog, I stick on a shirt, put on a tie, and I also like to just press my fingers like that really hard into my face using my fingernails for a good, I don't know, 5-6 minutes just before I start. And I go like that and release and say, hello, my Mercurial mercenaries. Because that's the kind of guy I am, my mercenaries. That's the kind of guy I am. Safe to say I'm sweating already. This is a sweat box. I'd rather you referred to it, if you ever refer to this place, I'd rather you refer to it as a sweat pit. Okay? I think it's a sweat box, but I'd rather you refer to it as a sweat pit. I don't know, pit. I was going to say pit sounds better than box, but actually box. Pit or box? Pit or box? Why haven't I got a towel? I should have a towel when I do these videos. If I haven't got a fan, I should have a towel. Remember Barry White? When he used to sing live? He used to have a towel. He used to constantly mop his brow. But people didn't say, oh, I'm not going to go and see Barry White because he sweats too much. I'm not going to go and see him because he mops his brow. They revelled in it. They revelled in the mopping of the brow. I could mop my brow. I could mop my brow. I could do that. I could be a person. I could be a person who mops a brow. I could do that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Fucking magic up mopping of the brow instrument in my hand now. Okay, this is I think Barry White just had a small, like, terry toweling towel. He didn't have a... I mean, this just seems like... I was going to say it seems like overkill, but if I kind of clench it up like that and have it just enter the frame every so often, it'll be like Jabba the Hutt is just leaning in for a... I was going to say a French kiss, but that would involve me reciprocating, but it's just leaning in. Oh. I can't stop now. I'm a Mishla. See, Jabba the Hutt's just leaning in to press his face against my brow. Watch. Oh, Solo. I don't reach yeah, I could do that. Every few seconds. I could do that. So, hello, my Mercurial mercenaries. Welcome to vlog 15. The 15th in the trail and trials and tribulations of trying to do something with YouTube! Fucking YouTube with a fucking God, 15 fucking days! Do you know what? Someone offered me a cookie today. You know, you get this packs of cookies, like a paper packet. When you open up, there's like 5 massive cookies. I'm doing that. 5 massive cookies inside. Well, they offered me a cookie today, right? And the flavour of this cookie was caramel and pretzel. Caramel and pretzel. Now this must be... See, pretzels over here, historically, have been something you have at Christmas, and they've been like bags of them. And they're like little things like that in a little pattern. I don't know why I'm crossed. Why have I got a fucking crossed eyes to say that? They're in a little pretzel-shaped pattern, and they're like little savoury things, a little bit like Twiglets, but less, I was going to say less Twiglety. How can it be like a Twiglet, but less Twiglet? You know what I mean. English people out there know, or Scottish, Welsh, Irish. You know what I mean. A pretzel over here is like a Twiglety thing, but less Twiglety. Yeah? Yeah? Shall I get my coat? Where's the towel? Where's the towel? Shabba. No, not Shabba. Jabba. Jabba. He's coming. He's coming. Wait. Oh. Solo. And I've seen pretzels on American films over the years. I don't know why I did that. People who talk like that. Oh, it's like, open your eyes. I've seen pretzels on TV programs and films. And over here now, we've got this shopping. I was going to say shopping precinct, but we don't call it that. And they sell these great big pretzel things, like, I mean, they're pretzels. I don't know, I'm calling them pretzel things now, but they're pretzels. And I understand now that pretzels are great big things. Great big things. And they're like chewy, bready, doughy things. Yeah, I understand that now. Didn't understand that for all my youth. For all my youth. But now I get it. It's a small thing to get in terms of your life and all the things you can get. All the things you can finally get. But I now get that, right? And anyway, I always have them like salty. No, I have them salty. I've gone the way of the salt. Yeah? It's kind of like, it's the Bruce Lee film that Bruce Lee never made, The Way of the Salt. I used to be the way of the sugar. Now I've gone the way of the salt. When I'm at the cinema and I'm going to have popcorn, why do I say There was no need for that then. That was a superfluous and there was no reason for me to say superfluous wrong. I'm not an idiot. I nearly said fuck then. No need for fuck. There's no need. What did the perfect 10 call that when I swear for no reason? She called it something. She said it was not superfluous. She said it was, if she was here now. If she was here now. Shabba! Shabba! Ah! More! 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 God! How can it be as hot as Australia in here? Australia in the summer. Apparently Australia has so many different time zones, and when I say as hot as Australia, there's parts of Australia that are like the North Pole. Probably not. That's a load of bollocks, isn't it? That's a load of bollocks. So he offered me a caramel and pretzel flavour cookie, right? And now I'm trying to eat less sugar because I'm trying to be less of a fat bastard, and it helps that we're talking about Jabba the Hutt today by accident, because that's kind of what I'm trying not to be. And when he opened this packet of these caramel and pretzel cookies, my initial reaction, he says, oh, what a brilliant sounding flavour. He says, what a brilliant sounding flavour. I saw it, caramel and pretzel, and I thought, I've got to have caramel and pretzel. And I've got to give, I nearly said my name then. I mean, my name is, my name is, my name is, Shabba! Shabba! More! He thought that caramel and pretzel would be a good flavour. I wasn't so sure. I thought, because I've gone salty rather than sugary, I think of as pretzel as being savoury. But then, saying that, why didn't I think of this earlier? I have desserts that are caramel and salt. Salted caramel, that's what it's called. So basically, the long and short of it is I turned this cookie down. I turned it down because when he opened the packet, I could smell the smell of the fairground come straight out, penetrating the air, just sugary like candy floss. And it smelt like 1,000 calories. And I just thought, no, that goes against me as a person. But thinking about it now, he was basically offering me a salted caramel biscuit. I turned it down. He ate it, and he said to me, Mercurial number 6, he said, I'll be honest with you, this biscuit tastes not very good. You're not missing anything. It's too dry. It's too dry. And the fact is that people, when they eat these packet cookies, the big round cookies in the packet, I'm doing that, in the packets, they expect, and they expect a certain moistness, yeah? And this is interesting as well, because when I was going, I don't know, sniffing it, it's like, look at that! Look at that! Hello? Hello! I only have one nostril. When I was growing up, biscuits were dry. They were dry, yeah? Cookies. Maryland cookies. Cookies in general, cookies were dry. Something happened a few years ago, right? And they started to sell cookies like made at the bakers in bags. And we all suddenly started to accept, I mean, not suddenly, suddenly's like that. Ah! We all suddenly started, I've said it again. I fucking said it again. Let me have a drink, hang on. We suddenly, oh, well, there you go. Let's just roll with it. We suddenly started to accept. We started to accept that cookies are now moist, more bready. You can bend. In my youth, right, you couldn't bend a cookie. If you did that, it went dust. Yeah? But these days, if you buy one of these packs of cookies, you can bend it. You can bend a cookie. There you go. Aren't you glad you're watching my channel, this channel, the Mercurial number 6? Hey? It's not plan 1. It's not plan 2. It's not plan 5. This is plan 9. This is the worst plan. How many channels did I try before this one? You missed the Mercurial number 1, the Mercurial number 2, the Mercurial number 3. The Mercurial number 4 was a good one. That was a skateboarding channel I did. Unfortunately, I can't skateboard. So it was short-lived. 3 broken legs at the same time. So Ed Dana was talking about sanding his neck, right? And he wanted to know which grade sandpaper to use to sand his neck, right? And it made me think, some people, when they get something new, Shabba! Ah! Oh, God, this is my life! This is my life! This is my life! Some people, when they get something new, they respect that new object, and you see them taking pride with it. They're polishing it. They take care of it. If they've got a guitar, they keep it in a case so it doesn't get all dusty and fucking shit high. Do you know what? I've never really been like that. I like to fuck things up. I like to disrespect things. I like to make something so that it's my own. I'll put stickers on something on day one. I won't mind about smashing something up. I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's that once I've chosen to be with something, and it is a relationship. I went into a shop. Let me think now. 20. I went into a shop 25 years ago, right? And I bought this guitar 25 years ago. Now, it hasn't, I don't keep it in a case. So you'll be horrified by this. You'll be horrified, but you can see that. You can see the dust on there. And it's not like I'm thinking, oh, I'll show you this guitar, so I'll clean it up and make sure it looks good, so you'll go, oh, look at his guitar. No, it's covered in dust. And looking at the back of it, look at this. See that? These are stickers that I would have put on, I can't remember when, but I'm assuming probably 25 years ago. In fact, look at this here. That's a Batman. See that? Oh, see that there? That's a Batman sticker. From what Batman film? Was anyone out there? Could anyone? That is a Batman, isn't it? Is that Batman? I think so. Is there anyone out there who can tell me which Batman film that sticker's from? But you can't. Look, what year did Casper the Friendly Ghost come out? Eh? Because that's what's. Look at this. What the hell? I don't really look at the back of any of my guitars. I haven't looked at the back of this one for years. But look at these stickers. You can see those stickers there. What's that all about? This one here. It's some animals riding on the back of a fox. Can anyone tell me what film that's from? Or cartoon that's from? Wicked Software. When did they go out of business then? Look, right, and more recently, I think a couple of years ago, see those knobs there? See those knobs? They're not the knobs that came with this guitar. I changed those. I put those knobs on there. I put those knobs on there. What's my point? What's my point? My point is that what we're thinking about here? Why should it be sacred? Are we thinking about resale value? I don't give a shit about resale value. I'm not selling this on. This is my guitar. I grew up with this guitar. This is the guitar that went out of tune for me in loads of gigs. Loads of gigs. I probably spent, back in those sort of naive times when you're starting out, when you don't really know what you're doing, and you do things then that you wish you could rewind time with the brain you have now to do things then that, oh, why didn't I do the things then that I could do now? But listen to this one. Standing on a stage, retuning a guitar between songs in front of the crowd, and back then I was having crowds. I might have had like 100, 200 people watching me, and I was standing there retuning the damn guitar. Like audibly, like down, bow, 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 bow. Bum, 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 bum. Everyone's out in the crowd like this. They feel obliged to watch. I paid their money. It makes their choice. But they're standing there, not with this cup, but they're standing there thinking, what's he doing? What's he doing? Hasn't he watched the telly? Hasn't he seen what other bands do? They don't do this. Has he watched Live After Death by Iron Maiden? There's no point in that gig where Adrian Smith stands there for 5 minutes going bow, 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 bow. But anyway, this is the guitar that was with me through those, I would say, that year or so of playing a lot of gigs, probably more prolifically when you're young than ever, without having a fucking clue what I was doing. And this guitar, this Gibson 1992 Les Paul, went out of tune more than any guitar in the history of bloody guitars. Anyway, you can't see what I'm doing now. It's really good what I'm doing. I'm spinning it on the spot, and it's actually spinning really well. Anyway, that's irrelevant, isn't it? I've kind of completely lost my train of thought there. Yes, I would certainly have no issue with sanding the back of the guitar neck. And I actually said to Ed today that, hang on, Shabba! Shabba! God, more! It's day 15! It's only day 15! I promised to do another 15 of these motherfuckers! I promised to do another 15 of these motherfuckers! I actually said to Ed that I would, if I was playing a gig tomorrow, I would take my brand new telly, that beautiful, beautiful custom telly, and I'd probably sand the back of the neck down because some silly sods made it put gloss on the back. And I agree with Ed. I think he's coming from where I'm coming from, which is I don't mess around with my guitars if they've got a gloss neck. And I live with it, you know. I'm not too bothered. My other telly, what's my other telly got? Let's just look at this a second. Now here's a guitar that I picked up I bought this one 1990. I'm going to say 1999, I think. Oh, hang on. Okay, can you tell me? See that serial number there? You see that? Is that 1999? I'm going to posit the notion that it is 1999. But I bought this telly in 1999. It is a beauty, an absolute beauty. And what sort of neck has that got on it? Well, is that gloss? Or is that satin? What do you think? Is that gloss or satin? I don't even know. But, oh God, this guitar, the polar opposite, apart from no geographies involved whatsoever, the polar opposite of the Les Paul, this guitar never went out of tune. Never went out of tune. In fact, I haven't even touched this guitar for months, probably since last. Is it in tune now? Oh, this is risky. I have to say it never goes out of tune. Bear in mind, it's probably fallen on the floor a couple of times in here, and I haven't tuned it. Here we go. Here we go. The moment of sniffing. What's that? Is my nostril still doing it? It's still doing it. What's that all about? Here we go. You can hear that? Oh, God. You got to be kidding me. That's not bad, is it? I mean, it's not exactly in tune, but holy crap. Oh, that was my fingering. I fingered that rather poorly on Mercenaries. Do you know what? Without even touching the tuning heads, and this really hasn't been played for ages. In fact, the electrics in it are doing my head in, so I've just bought a new guitar rather than sort it out. Holy shit. That's not bad, is it? If I had to play a gig right now without tuning this guitar, if I was stuck with whatever this is, without the ring doing that. Got to say, back when I used to gig every night, I didn't have that. Which one do you prefer, my mercenaries? That? Or that? You tell me. Answers on a postcard! God. It's like the Sahara in here. It's like the Sahara in here. I rode a camel across the Sahara Desert. That was an experience that I nearly refused to do. The Perfect 10 made me do it. And she's made me do so many things. It's so hot in here. I'm a better person because of her, I think. It's hotter than the sun. Shabba! Oh, God! No! No! I can't! No, not at 15! I can't! No! I had more to say, but thinking about it now, why don't I say the things that I was going to say now tomorrow? Then I'll have something to say, won't I? That's not rocket science! Over and out.